Hello, and welcome back to my channel and my playthroughs that I've been doing. Today, I'm doing Old Blues, but I am playing as Paulus's Warband. And for this, as a little explanation. Oh, first, if you guys like the video, the content I've been making, a like, subscribe, and watching some more of my content would be nice, and that helps me know what type of stuff you want to see. I know I've only done Old Blues, HOI4, and Frostpunk, but I am looking at branching off to do some other little things, and as it's summertime for me and I have more availability with some upcoming time, that lets me really look at what games I want to play. And I think this War of Mine, which is a really fun game. It's a bit of an old game, but it's a really good game. Might be on the chopping block for me to play next, so we'll see. But actually, I'm going to read this, and while I win the Civil War, I'll explain it. So, our disregard for Paulus's raiders resulted in his being able to recruit enough raiders into his squad to pose a serious threat to Rio, and now he goes to Gloria to get his vengeance. And instead of putting an end to the butcher, second time's a charm, and we change to Paulus's Warband. And so it looks like we have goals we could have in our army, which is going to be really neat. Actually, we're going to break up our army in two pieces. We're going to have this part. That's going to head for Gloria. And this part, that's going to head for here. And we need to start our production. So we need guns, support equipment, and we'll probably just do more guns. So there we go. And we're not going to tributize anybody. The promise of loot. I actually haven't seen this one. I hardly play as usually play as like a Brotherhood or like World or whatever. So I haven't really seen any of this. And we have the Butcher Mexico. Let me see, did they start construction of anything? Nope. And let's hit play. So Paulus's Warband. Okay. So as a backstory, Paulus's Warband was a we have Lanius over here, Lanius' cohort. This was a general who convinced Caesar to give him 2,000 men to come invade the Republic of the Rio Grande, and that's what he did. And he was doing pretty well until the leader, I don't think it's Dante Guerrero, I can't remember. It's Mora was able to defeat him in battle after he had captured significant land and done a lot of damage. And then he was kind of like guerrilla tacticing the Republic of the Rio Grande, recruiting people, but instead of legionaries, he did more raiders and stuff. So you can see we have cartel, Mexican outcasts. But he started recruiting more not the best troops, and Caesar's got mad at him for failing and getting more of these people, and so he sent out like a kill squad, but Paulus was always able to avoid him until eventually until he reaches timeline. And if you play as Republic of Rio Grande, you should you could become Paulus's Warband like you saw. So what you really do is you want to build up your nation. I built up here a lot, and Rio's Heart and over here. And you want to build these areas up, and you want to be producing a lot of weapons and support equipment, and also be building a lot of military factories. I think it came out, I have like 50 factories or something like that. So that's really good. And you just, instead of going down anything really over here, you want to skip this entirely. There's no reason to go down there. You literally want to focus here, and this is all your industry stuff, and you just want to build up the industry of the Republic of the Rio Grande. And you'll, once it becomes like election season, you'll have Paulus's Warband attacking, and you'll let him raid twice, and then you get the pop-up to play as him or go to war with him, and you don't do anything. When you go down this tree, you don't even want to touch this. You can touch this part or this part, but don't touch this. And if you want to maximize it, what I did is I did all of this until I went down here, and then I got 2 arms weapons factories right there. Because you're not really trying to get the best bang for your buck, depending on what you want to look at. You're just trying to get what's going to be immediately good for you. So that's what I did. And so we got the story of the butcher. And then this is just the butcher. And it's just like, let me tell you a story. And this is just about his fall, comparing himself to Icarus. Now the story of the butcher. The name of Pallus, infamous, has long been forgotten, but people in New Mexico still remember him. To help them, however, he is known as the Butcher of New Mexico, the monster who 12 years ago swept through New Mexico without leaving a living place behind. People especially remember him for inhumane cruelty, which gives us more experience gain and less resistance growth, but more damage to garrison and less stability. Or we could do this one, which I think is way better. More of me experience gain, more equipment capture ratio, less resistance growth speed. You're only getting 5% instead of 15%, but I feel like that's still pretty good, 5%, and 10% less damage to garrisons. So we're gonna do this. He took everything he could from them for his campaign, and we'll do this next one. Oh, and I already read that a little bit, and you're not gonna really be able to read too much. Okay. But Pallus hasn't had enough atrocities in New Mexico. He wanted more wars, more blood, more glory. So he asked Caesar for 5,000 legionnaires to take the legion's tidbit, the Rio Grande, and Caesar gave him the go-ahead. But Pallus was too careless, too confident. President Mora, thanks to his charisma and military skills, was able to raise all of New Mexico to fight Paulus's legion. Paulus fell, unable to break Mexican unity, but in every defeat there is a lesson. And Paulus learned the importance of patience, or the importance of a good plan. And I think we're going to do patience, more defense skills for us. And here we go. The hand of Caesar. Caesar's hand will always get you, won't it? And I want to really just run to Gloria. Okay. When news of Pallus's defeat reached Caesar, he was furious and sent out many assassins to finish off the one who had disgraced his name. But Pallus was too good at hiding and even too effective at taking out legion assassins. And a few years later, Caesar decided there was no point in wasting resources on his disgrace. Though the assassins stopped appearing many years ago, Pallus still remains in fear that sooner or later Caesar's hand will catch up with him. The hand of Caesar will get me sooner or later. Caesar's hand is still far away from us, but once it gets to us, Pallus will not suffer the best fate. Minus 10% stability. And the state of the Warband. What am I left with now? Okay, that's how I ended up here, disgraced by Mora. I found nothing better to do than make life worse for the Rio Grande by making periodic raids on their settlements. The legionaries who survived stayed with me, but in time, raiders began to appear in my warband, wanting a piece of the Rio. And it's been 12 long years. I am still waiting for the moment when Rio will weaken, and then I will strike. Win or lose, it doesn't matter because we have nowhere to go anyway. We have nothing to lose. plus 100% surrender limit, plus 30% division defense on core territory, and 15% more support. And we're going to do this to get us some more divisions. If I had only legionaries in my ranks, I would not have survived those 12 years ago. So years ago, I began to recruit into my warband those who had been rejected by the Rio Grande. So we're just going to be running around. There's not going to be really much for us to do. We could start an agency. That'd be cool. And let's go with this, I guess. I don't know. I don't think we're still not going to tributize. We got the Cult to Mars. And let's stop these people from advancing. If I remember right, they can't deploy their divisions, or they'll only be able to deploy in Gloria if we just surround the capital. So we got the Rio Outcasts. And let's go for scavenge military bunkers. Not far from here, there are bunkers for us to scavenge. Let's do that. Let's start heading to more of these. Let's actually also get rid of... sure. Let's give them less tariffs. There we go. We're still running. Oh, and they spawned in a whole bunch of divisions. Oh, that's not even their own divisions. Oh, they're spawning in even more divisions. Okay, cool. So... they were able to get more divisions than I thought they were able to. Cool. Let's get rid of them as fast as we can. This is stressful. I don't want to lose. I tried a little beginning playthrough of the Civil War, and I won because I deleted all their armies, but... so, let's get this. I doubt we'll be able to finish it, because I don't plan to be at war for this long. But, that's what we're going to try to do. Yeah, let's get this general on this line. Oop. Right here. Okay, we're invisible, I guess. And we're just gonna put them all to make those. Armageddon station. You know, the Cabal down. Let's push them here. There's a weapon contract, and so it's just going to be us gaining more. Oh, this is a really humbling experience right now. Okay. Well, look at what they just did. Nice. Let's go and attack Gloria. Okay, good. We won. Wow. So let's take everything. That was really unexpected. I didn't think they were going to be able to get that many troops out. Oh, they have a navy. For us, but we have a small navy. Just because they gave me dockyards. There is no glory left behind. We'll get rid of nothing to lose. And so I did my first practice playthrough. I started going down here, and then I realized this is not what I wanted to do. And this is we crawl back to Caesar. If we do this, we basically conquer and then we become a puppet of Caesar. And that's kind of what I'm really going to aim to do. And so I want to form my own empire. And so we're going to do Glorious of Pallus. Gloria Pallus. Wow. And as much as I would want to do some jump cuts and stuff like that, I feel like there's no real reason to, because, well, a lot of these focus are really small. So I did it. Rio was defeated at the hands of my loyal legionnaires. My revenge was finally done, but this is not the end. Rio is in chaos after the collapse of the government, and Mora, that sneaky person, had managed to escape the grip of his Calibros, Caballeros, and is waging a guerrilla warfare against me. I never thought it would be this easy, and we get Gloria Falls. We'll look at that, but let's get future cooperation. Is it really wise to trust that guy? After a victory over Rio, Todd from TAA called me to make a deal with me. Should I trust this serpent? And we have payment for weapons for another few days. Chaos in Rio. Just no construction, no output, more resistance growth, no consumer goods, bad army, and no compliance gain. So we are not going to be doing good for a while. And let's get basic hygiene education to get our stability up, because that's what we're going to need. Does she join the NCR? And let's get military signing bonuses. The serpent's words are sweet, but the poison hides behind the sweetness of his words. Todd wants to wants to make us his contracted slaves. Will I take the serpent's bait? So we could temper the serpent, or we could take the contract, which would give us 10% consumer goods. They get -10, and we get arms factories. And the serpent dare not tell me what to do. The serpent will not be able to tempt me. 'Tis suspicious a man, that Todd. I see only danger in cooperating with him. And let's complete this. I always let the followers in. I don't see why not. They give us better research bonuses. So let's just do that. Oh, great. I do not have any money now. Oh, it's never mind. I have a buttload of it. And about to get ready to end this episode after I finish Serpent Temper. I feel like it's almost getting close to 20 minutes, so there you go. And we're doing work as needed. I didn't start that. I'll keep it, but I didn't start that, so we'll see if I change it. And Rio pacification. We need to do something about Rio. Now that we have succeeded, we must bring the famed order of our legion to our conquest. And I have about a minute or two till I end this episode. Let's see. Doped and happy. Fetching warriors. Actually, I'll end this right now so I could go. I have some domestic stuff I gotta do. For example, clean up my mess that I made with food and stuff. But I shall make a new video soon, and I will see you guys later to continue this playthrough. If you guys could like, comment, subscribe, just so I can know to keep creating content here. And if you guys want to make a comment of games I should look forward to play, I don't really have a big budget in the video game department right now, but we'll see. Or if this 20-minute length videos are nice, and for future also nations to play as or mods. So yeah, have a good day, and I will see you later.